we identified last week, a lot of Nigerians are not necessarily aware of what a credit score is, the value the value it provides to the individual, how it can be, how it can help us forge ahead in our lives, and also the organizations that use it for or against us. Let's put it that way. And we have the best personnel to help us actually break this down. Mr. Muktar Mohammed, CEO of Muktar Finance with Muktar. We're glad to have you here, Mr. Muktar.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting topic.
Yeah, talking about finance and credit score has more to do with how you manage your finance. Are you credible?
Yes.
Have you taken excess loans and all that? But a lot of people would say, why do you take loans? You don't know how to manage your expenses. But I saw a comment this morning, something I saw on someone's DP, and it says, who no get responsibility will think say he's a save.
Yeah, fair enough.
well, that's a topic for another day, because there's a saying also that says, if you cannot save money, you don't have the seed of greatness. So you have to balance it.
He's the best person to have for this conversation. Trust me.
To balance it.
So we're starting on the right note.
Yes, no. Yes.
Not like politicians, though.
No. So we'll start with, like we always do. We would like you, Mr. Muktar, to just define, what a credit score is, and why Nigerians, should actually care about a credit score.
You see, it's good that a topic like this is coming from you people, from a very good radio station like this. So
thank you.
I think it's very, very nice. And again, I like bringing it simple. Because if you start talking the grammar about credit score, everybody just say, what is he talking about? Using all the terminology. So let's bring it to a simple layman language. Credit score, like he rightly pointed out, I felt that he has even answered the question. It's your credit worthiness. That's all. How credible are you in terms of how you manage your resources?
Yeah.
How credible are you with your money, your credit worthiness? If you come to ask me, there are some individuals in your life now, when they ask you for money, they say in the local palace that they say, look, money when you know if you dash, not give.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there are people like that now that you just, when they ask you for money, they say, oh, can I have 1,000? Mm-hmm. Even if you have the 1,000, you say, no, I'll give you, let me just dash. You say, borrow me 1,000. Mm-hmm. You just look at everybody and say, let me just dash you. That tells you the person is not credit worthy. That's why you don't want to give him, you don't want to borrow him that money.
Yeah.
So when you talk about credit worthiness, it's the ability to be able to manage your money and be able to, in a sense, put it that if you take money, you are able to pay back. Integrity, credit worthiness, that's what it's all about. It's not about any other thing. When you talk about the credit score, you're talking about my ability to manage my money, and that ability will come in. I take loan, I pay my loan, I take consumer loan, which is becoming very popular in Nigeria now, whereby you see banks and everybody calls you to come and take consumer loans. Are you able to pay when you are supposed to pay? We are not so popular with credit card in Nigeria like what is obtained out of abroad. Yeah. But again, there are some Nigerians, the elite in this country still operate some credit card. Mm-hmm. Banks have credit card, but they depends on what you have in your account. We've not, the true figure of a credit card is not about how much you have in your account. The true figure of a credit card is how credit worthy are you monthly in paying up whatever you have collected. But in Nigeria is what's your balance sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, how much business does it do? But in the global credit card, why should I give you a credit card? You have a job. Then there's a limit to what you can use in those credit cards. Those are all what determine your score.
So I mean, like what you said is really true. There, so there are a lot of Nigerians that still even believe in that. I have a rich friend who this guy can help me out, or give me something, give me money, like you just highlighted. So why is it that a lot of Nigerians are so uninterested or just unaware, about it?
It's a system.
Yeah.
It's a system that is not working.
Okay.
Capitalism is built around credit.
Okay.
That's how capitalism is built. Capitalism is not built on cash. That's why most of the well-capitalized economy, they are built around credit.
Okay.
You see, if you are somebody, you stay in a country like the United States, and you always pay cash, the people say you are not credit worthy because they want to see you, how much you collect, how you are able to pay. That's what they give you good credit scores so that you are able to collect more money without, and then, credit also will come to a point where they will begin to look at how risky are you. How. So I think the problem in Nigeria is the awareness.
Okay.
One. Then two, like I said, structure. You see, now thank God we have BVM. You could easily track.
Yeah.
Those days, you don't even, those days there are businesses, managers, owners of business that will borrow from bank A, borrow from bank B. There's no coordination. So that's why it came at the point the central bank have to intervene and now say there's a rule that says that if you borrow from bank A to pay bank B, if you are owing bank A, even if your money is in bank B, they can automatically transfer it to bank A because you are owing and you are not ready to pay.
Yeah.
Before now, when somebody do in Nigeria, just like the old night, you use up your phone, you throw it away, and you go get another phone.
One.
So what we used to do is before you just collect loan from bank A, then you go to bank B again. There's no coordination between your account. You have different accounts and everything. But I think why that happened was because there's no structure. And individually also, people don't give you, because if I want to give you a credit, I must know where you are staying. If you are moving from that place, I must know you are moving. So I will be able to track you. But these days you can't track. In Nigeria, there's no structure. Somebody is staying today in Lagos, borrow money in Lagos. Tomorrow he's staying he has gone to Abuja and is doing business in Abuja. In developed country, immediately you leave Lagos and you go to Abuja, you are going to rent an apartment.
Yeah.
So the first thing that will happen, they will show the address of where you are coming from. The person will check, are you owing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why did you leave that place? He will just check it, the credit score. You just say, no, I can't give this person my facility because he's not going to pay.
Yeah.
But we don't have all that here. So somebody can just leave. So how do I not track them? That's why the time came the loan shark. And they devise a way of making people by publicly shaming them, sending you message, cursing them, telling them that this person has done this and that and that and that. So very, very, a lot of derogatory things that you don't want to say on air, just because they want to recover their money. It's because of the lack of system. Even with the current BVM, it can only work when you are in the banking sector, the financial sector.
Outside
but other
that,
sector, outside sector, it doesn't really work. I'm a landlord. I have a property. I want to lend it. I want you to take it. In the developed country, they look at your credit score. Are you credit worthy? Are you owing rent? And if you are owing rent in point A, they blacklist you. And immediately your name comes in there. This one, it doesn't pay. You will be homeless.
Literally.
Yeah, literally homeless.
And it's the discussion that actually led to this. Last week we spoke about loans and loan sharks and the requirements needed to be able to even get those loans. So that's how we got here. But so what organizations? I know you've mentioned loans, banks. What organizations actually use this credit score?
Sorry, Ogiba.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible. Before we get into that, you spoke about the credibility, the integrity of the person taking the loan. So I'm wondering that in a case where what really qualifies someone to be or disqualifies someone and makes the person not credit worthy? Now, someone that is it because you are avoiding paying the loans you took, or let's say a mere case of you being bankrupt, you didn't expect it. You had a case of force majeure, you lost your properties and you're unable to pay back. Does that make you less credit worthy?
No, when it's bankruptcy, that's why in developed country, you see a very rich man say, I'm bankrupt. It's just because
I see that a lot.
Yeah, it's because he wants to be credit worthy. He doesn't want to destroy his credit score. It's a different thing. You now tell the owners, look at my record. I'm credit worthy, but now I'm bankrupt, so I can't pay.
But do we have that system in Nigeria? Because in the last year, for example, many businesses have closed down. I know people who import batteries,
Yeah.
and they now only rely on the rent they collect because they import, they're not able to make money. Such a person who is taking a loan is being, should I say, rated as not being credit worthy. When you look at the credit score rate, the credit ratings, I think there are about 3 or 2 of them that we have in Nigeria. Is that? I mean, what can we do about that? Because that makes the person not credit worthy.
Well, unfortunately, that's the truth. When you take loan, that's why sometimes they'll tell you the banks will look at your business, the risks involved in it and everything. So what you normally will see in such cases, because of your integrity, you go to the bank or wherever you borrow the money, you sit down with them and have a conversation. Then you begin to make your new payment plan. So once you are open, not you are running away from them, you are not coming to them, they are chasing you up and down. But you go in there, like I keep telling people, I said, if you are owing a bank or if you are owing somebody, just be rest assured, especially if you are owing an individual, just be rest assured the person is praying more for you to stay than for you to go. He's praying that you'll be in sound health so that you'll be able to pay up the money. The same thing with the banks. The banks are also looking at, oh, please, let's give this guy this money. And that's why you see sometimes in Nigeria, the credit system, the mortgage system is so short-term because of the environment that we are in. Volatility. So you want to get your money as much. And sometimes when you look at the payment schedule, realize that this bank will structure in such a way that in 3 years, you have finished paying the capital of what you collected. What you are paying sometimes is the interest on some of this facility because of the volatility of our environment. So when you are into a business, that's why I said they are high risk business. There are people that, because we don't practice it here in Nigeria. You can just go into an insurance company and you get a vehicle insurance. No. In developed country, once you are high risk, maybe you've hit somebody has hit you, you have done that twice, you are not a high risk. Your insurance premium, my insurance premium and your insurance premium will not be the same. If I'm paying 5,000, you'll be paying 10,000 because you are a high risk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the same thing with credit. So if you have somebody that is not used to paying your credit, so what will happen is that we will make your credit score. When we are lending you money, you can lend me at 10%. I won't lend him at 10%. You lend him at 12%, so that you are able to recover your money on time because it's a credit risk. And if he doesn't pay, that's how the score is still getting bad. The lower your credit score, the bad for it, worse for you. So you need to have a high credit score. So that's why in America you see they say if you want to have a high credit score, you have a credit card. You make sure that at the day it is due for payment, on every month you pay off all what you have in your credit card. You can borrow more. You have to increase your credit score.
Okay, I have a question here, but in addition to that question, I'm going to use myself as an example. I was going to take a facility about 2 years ago. Now there's this dollar account I used to have when I was in Ghana. When I came, I discontinued because this thing you can only transfer, you can't withdraw. I said, you know what? I left that account, and they kept deducting money from it until it got to, I think, minus $5 or minus $2. I wasn't even aware. Nobody. So I wanted to take a facility, and they got back to me and told me I'm owing so bank. I'm like, I am not. So I had to go. They said, no, I'm owing this dollar. I was so angry. I went to the bank. So because of the $2, which then was less than 2,000 naira, I'm being denied a facility, And so in such an instance, I mean, it's not my fault. I didn't even know that existed. And you've given me bad credit score.
You should have declared bankruptcy.
I think that's an easy tax. That's very easy because again, the people that want to loan you the money, if they really want to loan you, they've told you. All you need to do is to go back there and tell.
Yes, I did.
Just go there and clear it and you get your credit.
I'm saying that in that case, is there no structure that compels the bank to at least tell me or inform me? Because they're giving me bad credit score. Maybe the other facilities that people will have offered me that I'm not even aware of. Now I'm disqualified.
I think, sorry to call, I'll allow you to answer, but I want to be answer on behalf of him. I think it's still down to the structure, like you said. So at the Ghana end, right, they should have had some form of notification that you've moved out of the country, right?
Yeah, no
if,
longer.
if that had been
It was
captured,
actually a diaspora account. So yeah.
so
that's what we're talking about structure. Structure is key.
It's key. All right, let me
Structure.
go to the next question. Good morning, Olu Akari. Please ask your guest if you delayed in paying for far more than the required time, but pay all the late fines and everything at the end, does it affect your credit score?
It's all about timing. It does. You're a credit risk. You didn't pay at when due. So you are not paying fine. That's part of the risk because you are not supposed to pay fine. So when next I'm giving you credit, I'll look at your record.
What if after that I don't take credit for years and I come back?
Well, your credit record is not moving. That's why you know I said something. In developed economy, they prefer, that's why when you go to pay some, if you travel abroad, when you go abroad, when you are trying to pay, especially in the US or the UK, and you come in, especially we Nigerians that are tourists and we're coming in, and you want to pay, and the guy sees you, you say card, credit, they don't tell you, they don't, in abroad, they rarely have what we call a debit card. This credit card. The person will ask you, credit card or cash? And when you say cash, they looked at you strangely. Because some places, they will not even sell for you. They say, no, we only sell for people that pay through. Now, that also is helping the business itself to say the business is credit worthy. So it's a two-way system. You are scoring a high credit card. We as a business, we are not saying, okay, we are doing business with people that have integrity and they are paying. So you are adding to the business own credit worthiness to be able to get loan because most of the people that patronize them pay on time.
Yeah. All right. I know you want to ask a question, but let me do a quick.
No, fine.
Now, if maybe, like you said, some things happen and I'm unable to pay, but like my listener said that then you pay the fines and you clear it. And of course, you say you'll be flagged as a credit risk. What can I do to correct that? If I take another loan and I pay ahead of time, would that reverse my rating? Or what can I do?
You see, it will. Because what it means is that now you're paying on time. You're paying always at when due. I even pay before your due. So your credit rating is going up.
So
it's more like building it back up.
Yeah, you're building up.
So
you build
intentionally go for a loan I don't need it just to correct my rating.
Exactly. Because again, it's just here in Nigeria because of you see Nigeria is a cash-driven economy. We always believe it because the largest segment of the Nigerian economy, the informal sector, is largely driven by cash. So you see that a lot of transactions are done by cash. Ordinarily, transactions in developed economy, you don't pay cash. They want you to pay through your credit card. They want you to put money through in your credit card. They want you to do everything through your credit card. They better your credit rating, the more they are begging. Abroad, you see some people say, they are begging me to collect credit card, but I don't want to have more than one credit card. They are building their record. So it's easy for them. If they want to get a mortgage, the rates they will give somebody that have low mortgage, low credit score, which is different. This is credit worthy, and they will give you mortgage in a very good area. But let me give you an example. In those countries now, if you have good credit rating, they will be calling you and said, we've looked at your credit. Your credit is so good. Why are you staying in Yanopaja? Come on, we have a place here for you in Ikoyi. Because of your credit, you can pay over 70% of it. And this is how much you'll be paying. And again, that's why, bro, sometimes they go to check their cars. They just go to service their car. And you get there and the person just run your credit. I said, you know what? We have a latest version. This is 2022 you are using. We can upgrade you to 2025. And you say, you have a very good credit score. Boom. Run the credit score for you. You go to buy, I remember in the years I went with my junior brother to buy something and I was using his card. And we went there and the guy just said, your credit card is so good. We'll give you a discount on this. Can you pay with your credit card? You get a discount. Wow. So it's way of building financial integrity, financial prudency. And that's why we will, thank God you said that. He said, now will not get, for the way you put it, he said, you will not get
responsibility.
You don't get responsibility. So you see it. Like I said, if you cannot save money, there's no seed of greatness in you. Savings itself is a responsibility. It shows that you are responsible. And that is part of what builds your credit score. So a lot of people, when the banks, it's also, say in Nigeria, we are not yet practicing banking the way we should practice banking. You understand? Because sometimes abroad, thank God you stayed there. Sometimes when they see that you have so much money in your account and it's not being used, they call you and say, hey, we realize you have this, that amount. What do you want to do it for? do you want to put it in this or that? So they can, they are
help you
helping you
find,
that, look, you can't just leave this money like this. We need you to put so that you can improve your credit worthiness with those facilities. So that's how it works.
But in our climes, at times your money gets missing if you're not. We've seen that.
You see now, the bit about it now in Nigeria now, credit is very important. There's a credit bureau.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until a friend of mine was about to take a facility.
Yeah.
And she went there and she said she couldn't get it. They said she had been blacklisted.
Yeah.
And it was like, how? I said, so you mean they follow? So they follow.
Yes.
Especially when you are the person that consumer, I'm advising Nigeria, we are going to that point, consumer loan, student loan is coming in. So we are beginning to build those ratings.
You will be blacklisted.
You will be blacklisted. You'll be flagged immediately.
And they'll tell you the bank you're owing. That's what happened with my
yeah, they will tell you.
You're owing this amount.
So sorry.
Some businessmen can, today some people tell, oh, our business closed down because of the economic hardship. Go and find out sometimes it's because they cannot take money from the bank any longer. They have become high risk. The banks are struggling to collect money from them. Sometimes people will tell you, all the money, all these rich men, all of them, they borrow money. They borrow. If you go and look, they are highly in debt. And that's the secret people don't know. They are highly in debt, but they are very credit worthy. They pay at when they ought to pay. The banks will want to give them more facilities.
We need to bring you home, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
on a lighter note now, you said you could use the credits to buy things anywhere. They could even give you a discount.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if credit cards and your credit score could help you in getting a wife when paying your dowry.
not in this
Not in this country, not even in any part of the world. No, that structure is not there.
Way off
We are way off that. But I think the basic thing now, again, even with our debit card, some you can see how beautiful it is to have a credit card. So even with a debit card, sometime now in Nigeria, it happen. You go to some eatery, they ask you, do you have this card? Do you have this card? You enjoy a discount of this. That's the same thing that happens if you have a credit card.
So I guess gradually we'll get there.
Hopefully we'll get there. Structures are coming up gradually.
But so with all this, for someone who is interested in actually building or repairing his or her credit score, what measures? I know we understand. You said financial responsibility and all that. How can someone actually build a good credit score?
It's easy. Pay when you are supposed to pay. Period.
Okay.
Collect as much as you can collect. Pay as you can collect as much, but make sure that you are able to pay. Okay. Once you keep paying, once you are not indebted to any company anywhere, I mean, especially a financial institution, you can get anything you want to get. Today in Nigeria, what people don't know is that they do those credit scores. People can use those credit scores to get a low interest on every loan, especially consumer loan. If you know how to pay, if you go to your bank and your bank knows you know how to pay, you see that this rate keeps coming down. But if you're somebody that don't pay, and after you collect like what you do to the loan shark, it doesn't work.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Muktar. And we hope everybody has heard pay when you're supposed to. And today was a very nice session. You can always catch up with us on our YouTube page and Spotify. And we'll look forward to next week with you guys. Have a nice day.